Shelby and Coach Christine, excited to have you join us for Time for Brunch Quick Bytes edition, where you can grab your miles with a side of smiles and take them on the run midday, in the afternoon, or even a late night snack attack. Let's have some fun, get you moving and grooving, lace up those shoes, put a smile on your face, and let's log some miles in 3, 2, and 1. Coach Christine, let's get our friends moving along. How about a 10-minute walk to really just get the spice going?
I love it, Coach. Definitely one of my favorites. I've actually used our Quick Bytes a couple times now just to kind of get out there, maybe even tagged it on to a long run or a long brunch when I need a little bit of extra motivation to keep moving. And how have you been able to get in a little bit of Quick Bytes into your life?
Well, you know I am the snack queen, so I'm all about the Quick Bytes. Whatever I can grab, go, and shove in my face, or in this case, my ears, I'm pretty much doing it. I've been really enjoying it for my shorter runs, because we have our long runs, and they're great. Love them, but sometimes I can only get out for a mile, 2 miles, and I'm taking it whenever I can get it. I can't be picky.
Especially with it being still pretty hot and humid around here. So having to kind of maybe sometimes break up even the 3-mile run into a little bit of a shorter run for me has been something I've had to do if I need to skirt some rain clouds coming, even though people are telling me there's a little crispness in the air. So how do you get excited about that? Can we move?
Well, everybody, I'm seeing fall everywhere right now. I think there's already pumpkin spice stuff out. I'm like, I don't have the temperatures for one, and I'm still sweating buckets daily. So, I mean, I can put myself in that fall, winter, whatever you want to call it mindset, but my deodorant's telling me different because it is not holding up to these summer temps. It's not prepared for fall.
So how do you bring a little bit more fall into your life, considering that it's still pretty humid and hot?
The only thing that makes me start kind of feeling that fallness before the air actually gets in Florida crisp-ish is one of our local farmer markets has apple cider donuts, and those transport me of walking around when it's a little bit cooler, and by cooler I mean like in the lower 80s, and I have a cup of coffee, I'm walking around the farmer's market feeling just, I don't know, so light and free and breezy. I mean, again, it's usually pretty darn hot, but still, that's my version of fall. What about you? Do you do the pumpkin spice, or how do you bring that fall?
I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spiced coffee drinks. I do like pumpkin spice. I think it smells delicious and all of that jazz. And I'll sometimes make pumpkin pancakes this time of year. Again, that team sweet. But generally, or pumpkin loaf. But I'm not a huge pumpkin. I kind of like my coffee, just coffee with cream or coffee with almond milk or whatever the case may be. But I like to pretend that it's a little crisper because sometimes I just have to put myself in that mental space. If not, I can't convince myself to go out there. So it's not really quite so hot or humid. It's, only feels like 99 degrees, not 102.
Meanwhile, everybody else in the rest of part of the U.S. is like, no, we get Christmas. Our fall leaves change. We don't have that here. But I'm with you. I love the pumpkin spice itself and the loaves and the muffins. I do like some sweet when it comes to pumpkin spice, but I'm the same. I have not gone on the PSL pumpkin spice latte train.
So friends, if you are totally on the PSL train and it's already taken off from its destination, it's full steam ahead, you're maybe even on a bullet train on this, please do tag us. I want to hear more about what calls you to the PSL. Do you just love the sweetness of it? What made you think that that's the best thing of this time of year? I think that for me, if I have to do something a little bit different, I probably am more of an apple cider tea type person, where that's where I'd make a little bit of a spiced tea at night to kind of bring that into my life.
Yeah, I do a pumpkin bread or a pumpkin loaf, whatever you want to call it. Not overly sweet because, again, team Team savory, but I do throw in some chocolate chips, have that sliced with warmness and maybe a little bit of butter with my cup of coffee. That speaks my language, and I am all for it because, again, we just pretend here in Florida. We put on leggings. You have like the Ugg boots that you put on, your scarf. Meanwhile, you're sweating through everything, but you're pretending that you're in that alternate reality.
Yeah, generally we'll get 1 or 2 days. I think they're closer to October or November. I do tend to tell folks whenever they're bragging about their beautiful fall weather that we'll have our moment to shine when they're having to de-ice their their windows. Of course, now technology advancements doesn't give us quite as much, but at least we don't have to dig our way out of our homes in wintertime.
But I will say, you as a runner specifically, you know the one surefire way I know that the weather's changing and those slightly cooler temps are coming? My chafing goes down just a little bit because I'm not sweating as much.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because I tend to say that I am a proud card-carrying member of the Bodacious Thick Thighs Save Lives. So I feel like I've been chafing since I could walk. I've had big old chunky thighs. It just works for me. So what do you do to help with chafing?
So I am lucky, even though I have my thick thighs that don't lie any time of day. My chafing overall is pretty at a minimal, which I do contribute a lot to being very mindful of my wardrobe choices. Mm-hmm. My biggest areas, no pun intended, are my thighs. And then I have noticed randomly I've started chafing right where my sports bra is, on the back side of my back. Mm-hmm. I guess that's kind of redundant, but you're with me. I do use either like a Vaseline or a Body Glide type of lathering up. But other than that, I have been pretty fortunate. I do make sure, though, that I get clothes that have very few seams, because I find that the seams are where my chafing takes on a little bit of a life of its own.
So I'm trying to think. I have had severe chafing to the point where it was after the London Marathon, specifically for me. I chafed so bad that for a couple days afterwards, I kind of had wounds, to be honest, where it ended up seeping a little bit. Sorry, guys, if you are out there trying to grab a peanut butter and banana sandwich as I'm talking about seeping wounds. Maybe not the most opportune time to bring that up, but I'm a big fan of just Vaseline. I used to be really big into getting the Body Glide, and I do think there's a lot to it in terms of it being very, since it comes more in like that deodorant, very easy to pack, throw it in your stuff. But I actually just feel like Vaseline works the best for me, and that's one thing that I do want people to know, that if you you're not able to escape the chafing, you could use that Vaseline also before you jump in the shower. Just a nice little thin layer will help to minimize that burn from that water and the salt that gets into it, of course. So, yeah.
Oh, I never thought about doing that before a shower, because that's usually when I find out that I chafe.
Yes.
When I get into the shower, because no matter what, I take hot showers. I don't take cold showers, even if I'm a sweaty, hot mess. I don't know, the cold shower for me is nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you with Team Vaseline. If you are on the go, the Body Glide is great because, like you said, it's convenient. But the Vaseline, it's cheap. It's available absolutely everywhere. And because people are like, I don't want to get my hands all gooey, I take a Q-tip and I'll use that to apply it, and it makes it a lot more precise versus just gel everywhere.
Okay, well, that's what I do wrong. You use it on your feet?
I use it on my feet because, full disclosure, you should not really get blisters and chafing with your shoes. That can be a very big sign of an improper fit. But even the best fitting shoes, especially if you're logging longer miles or you sweat a lot and your socks, just as moisture wicking as they are, don't cut it. Put it on your feet. Just lather it up. Like, you think you don't have enough, put some more on, and then when you think you have enough, add another 3 tablespoons. Like, that's my motto, and just everywhere, toes, the corn part, everything.
So I want to know, would you consider giving us a little tutorial video of this on social media? Because I want to see.
I don't know if I'm going to do free feet pics, but we can work something out.
I'm sorry. The minute I threw that out there, I was like, I don't know. Maybe that's a whole different business model. Maybe we should keep this clean, keep brunch clean. But yeah, I've never had chafing or blisters or anything on my feet. So very lucky about that. Coach, believe it or not, we've already hit the halfway point. So for 60 seconds, friends, you can go ahead and turn it around or take this as an opportunity. I'm going to suggest to kind of maybe stretch up towards the sky, elongate your spine a little bit, breathe in nice and deep, open up your chest, especially if you're returning back and you're going to head to your desk again or get back to work. I think having a little bit of that opportunity to stretch up and just bring in some oxygen is nice. Into that lower lung, deep breath, exhale, and then in 30 seconds, we'll get that other 10-minute block for you to get in more of your walk or your run. Or
every time you tell us that, I sit there and I roll my neck.
I know.
Sitting up to posture-wise.
I have a hard time not doing like a little shoulder shimmy and actually reaching up towards the sky because it just feels really, really good. And we spend a lot of time hunched over without even realizing it. So some mindfulness of getting in some nice, longer, lean lines and stretching out that lower back, especially for me. Coach, we're going to go into that 10 minutes in 3, 2, and 1. So our final 10-minute block where we left off that you protect your feet more than I think I've ever had to protect my feet. But I do change out my socks on a longer run during summer training. So I usually pack them. Yeah, I have to pack like almost a whole other wardrobe for marathon training. I get really sweaty, like where I have to wring out clothes. So I just pack a whole other pair of clothes and essentially at the halfway point go and change.
How? Like, do you just like do you plan your route to where you have
to change? I do. Like if it's a 18 miler or 16 miler, I will use it so that my car becomes the halfway point. So I'll go out and back, come back to the car, make sure it's parked somewhere where I can duck into a non-porta potty because I have never figured out how to do that in a porta potty, but a real bathroom, change out a little bit, have a little bit of a rehydration, pack again and then head back out. It is, from a mental standpoint, takes a lot to convince yourself to move back out into those miles, but it does help to feel comfortable. Yeah.
So now you don't do that during race day, obviously.
No, but I've never raced. I've never raced in like Florida in summer. I did one half marathon in Florida in summer. It was a June or a July, and I don't think I'll ever do that again.
Oh, so this is purely a summer thing.
Yeah, I've never had to do this during the winter. So friends, if you are sweating in winter, and I know there are folks in like different parts of the world where they have summers during where we would normally have our winters, but no, I only have to do it here in Florida in summer. I do sweat a lot. And I'm a salty sweater, so that's where the chafing comes in.
I do take back my like three-eyed head look that I gave you because I'm like, you just changed mid-run. Like I don't get that. So
costume change.
Well, I mean, it is you, so
yeah.
I wouldn't fully be surprised.
I mean, come on, like
run Disney.
I was thinking, Belle run Disney for like the first 10 miles, and then maybe a little Cinderella for the final 10. It's all about the shoes. Yeah.
Hey, don't forget the Vaseline.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's helped me with minimizing chafing. I think, and the Vaseline. So
last time you checked the shower, it's like, okay, that burned a little less.
Yes, actually, truly, because it can sting. There's no doubt about it. So, friends, we are looking forward to the fact that you hopefully are getting cooler temperatures and you're able to get out there more during the midday, break away from your desk for these quick bites, and hopefully you don't have to change and get a whole new wardrobe. You can just get back to your desk. You've got about 8 more minutes before you wrap up this quick bites. And Coach, I'm so curious. Tell me more about your clothes that have minimal seams. Do you have like some favorite go-tos that you would recommend for folks?
So I do. My shorts are the ones that have the most seams. They're just a high-waisted pair from Old Navy because I struggle really hard with finding shorts for running. Mine are more of a bike short that sit close to my skin because my thighs won't gobble up every single pair that is not fitted to me. I actually think Mrs. Space Cadet actually has a whole series of she
It cracks me up. Yes.
And that's me. Like, my thighs just do it. It's something I struggle with even off the run. But I do find the high-waisted for my specific body type really does help because it doesn't move as much. I don't go with tight-fitting tank tops when I run. I know a lot of people do to minimize chafing, but for me, the way my rolls go, I need a little bit of extra air and breathing room, which allows the sweat to not kind of get trapped in. And my socks, I do a mixture between Bombas, and I actually got a pair grouping from Amazon of Saucony socks.
Oh.
And none of them have the same type of stitching, so that way it minimizes that foot discomfort.
Well, that's good because our feet are so important. I've been very lucky with my feet in terms of, again, I haven't had blisters. I tend to keep my toenails really, really, really short so that I don't lose any, even though I have lost one toenail during one training season. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of, we're going to have to actually do one of the, as a future game, like all the things that happen as a runner that is just unexpected and then no one tells you about it. Like when you get, never once did I know that I was going to have to apologize to the pedicure individual about my feet. I was like, I'm sorry.
My hack is to just do my own toes and I just can not judge myself.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. We have less than 5 minutes for this quick bites. I agree with you. I love high-waisted shorts for a myriad of reasons. I hate anything that kind of has those elastic roll downs. I just like where you have to tug them or they're rolling down and it makes you feel uncomfortable. So that's something I'm going to say while we're here. Friends, you've heard us talk about it practically every episode. There's different seasons of your running, different seasons of your life and your body. If you are going into a training season and your body has changed since your last training season, one way or the other, it doesn't matter. Find something that's comfortable for you. I know that there are some budget cost-friendly items out there. Shelby, I think Old Navy's usually has some pretty good sales on their items, don't they?
Yeah, they have a pretty good array of sales that go all along, and I have some of my more expensive brands that I love. But honestly, even as long as you get some of the wicking shirts, Ross, TJ Maxx, all of those, you can pick up a shirt for super cheap,
right?
And does the job just fine.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. So don't, to help you feel comfortable getting out there for the run and to help you actually minimize any possibility of chafing, that's a great opportunity to say, like, I have to take myself out for a little bit of a shopping treat and just pick up a couple items. Even if you only have just those a couple items and you rewash them and reuse them, just don't use this as an opportunity to beat yourself up about, well, I used to wear this on my runs, or I used to feel more comfortable in these pair of shorts. It's the shorts, it's not you.
Like I always say, the number on your clothes does not matter, because if anybody is that close to you so they're seeing it, they were invited that close and they shouldn't be judging you anyway, because there's plenty of other things for them to occupy their mind with.
I would 100. Oh my gosh, yes. Even though I did grow up in a time where it was really cool to have your Levi's jeans have the size on like the tag, and like that was like and I've never been small. So for me it was like, how can I ever have a tiny number? I'd have to actually like erase it off and write it in. I never did that, for the record. But truly, it was that kind of level of vanity where folks would have the tiniest number they could potentially have on their Levi's, and you would see it on the outside.
That's like a medieval torture.
I know. Friends, you should see Coach Shelby's face. She's absolutely, horrified by it.
Well, who has the same like pants size in every brand? I range from like a 6 to a 14. There's all the rainbow spectrums on my tags.
I think, again, this goes back to like a generational thing, and I have to say I'm so excited for the younger generation to not have experienced these, like the Christina Aguilera really low-waisted from the Dirty album kind of skinny pants. They are torture.
Great album, though, just saying.
Yeah, great album. She's an incredible singer, songstress, whatever. I mean, her vocal range is phenomenal. But come on, I think that the inseam on her jeans was like, what, half an inch? Like, how do you get into those? You don't.
I was very young when I realized that her hair was not naturally that long to cover her testicular area, and that is what extensions were for. So to leave you with that little tidbit,
yes,
today years old.
I think actually that's the perfect way of wrapping up this Quick Bites, friends. We have about 60 seconds left. Just a wonderful reminder that none of the celebrities, none of the Instagram life is real life. Don't bother comparing yourself to them. Live your best life. Enjoy it. Get back in there. Get back to your day or finish up your afternoon, your evening, your night, and just kind of be proud of yourself because you got this Quick Bites in.
And before you knew it, you were out there, you did it, and now you're done. So cheers to every single one of you.
All right, friends, we can't wait to have you back for the next edition of Quick Bites. Drops every Wednesday, or join us on Saturday for the long brunch. We have some really fun things in the works. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on anywhere you get your podcasts. If you have any questions, reach out to us at timeforbrunchpodcast@gmail.com. All of this will go into episode notes, so you don't have to worry. You just get back to your day, give yourself a high five. See you on the flip side.